Hello everyone, this is Billie. Welcome to Billie Holman Creations. Now Resiners was kind enough to send me their silicone rubber extender, and I'm going to be using that today because I have some quite tall molds. This extender goes with your G3, which is your curing machine for either regular resin or UV resin, but this allows you to put taller molds inside. So let me show you what I've done. First of all, it's going to be snail day, all about snails. These are almost the tallest molds that I have, and they measure from top to bottom 5 inches. So normally that would be a little too tall for the machine without the extender. Now I've colored with just some regular mica colors. Well, anyway, I've colored with some beautiful mica colors. This one here I've colored with some green, and I've left the opening clear. So we're going to be using clear resin in this one, and I'm going to be putting a set of lights in. So with the lights, I dug out my handy dandy mix of scraps. Now this is my scraps of resin. Oh my goodness, sequins, beads. There's all kinds of little things in here, and when I have extra, I just chop it up and put it inside. So let me show you this extender. Now for those of you who have a G3, you can either make this piece deep, or you can turn it over with your mat and make it not so deep. Now this is great for when you're using UV resins. The lid is in the other room, but I'm just showing you this part. So I'm going to flip it, and we're going to go deep. As you can see, I've used this quite a bit. I didn't clean that up for you, but I apologize. So here's the extender. Now this has 2 sides. It's got the ribbed side or the solid side. Now you can use whichever you prefer, but the one thing great about this is if you flip it to have the higher side, this piece will fit right around the piece, the base, and you can set your lamp on top, or going deeply, because these are large, I'm gonna put this right around, put my mat down here, right around the edge of my curing machine with this edge up. This edge must be up because that's what your curing machine will set into. Now, it doesn't look taut yet, but when you put the lid on, it will tighten everything right up. So that means our molds are going to fit in here with plenty of room to cure. Just like so. So let's go into the other room and I'll mix some resin. Well, here we are. I went ahead and I mixed up 600 milligrams, which is almost 20 ounces of clear resin, using Resiners 1-to-1 resin and my Resiners dual mixing machine. And I also dumped out just a little over 8 ounces of the glittery pieces I've got here, or the scraps. So I want to go ahead and pour it in here. First of all, I want to get a little of this resin in the, well, I can move things around. I'm going to get a little bit of clear resin right here and pour it in to where the antenna are. And give this a couple little swishes here. There's a couple bubbles. Get out. I'm going to make more bubbles anyway when I mix the scraps in, but let's try to get, I mean, you can see a bubble right there. You get out. Do I need to poke you with a stick? I don't want to mess up my mica powders, and these are chameleon powders that I did use. I couldn't think of the word earlier. So let's just get a little of that in there. I have another piece to finish with some more of this, but let's go ahead and I'm just going to soak this down. I don't want to use all of this resin if I don't have to, because I'm going to color it black and put it in the other two snails. So let's just get some in here. I did dump the scraps in there to kind of give myself an idea of what it's going to take, but let's mix this up. This is a lot. I could have used this sparingly, but the color pieces will show up. The clear pieces will pretty much disappear. I want that a little more fluidy. Because I don't know what these, either one of these snail molds takes as far as resin goes. I have no idea. A big chunk there. Now that's pretty thick. I'm guesstimating that should almost fill the body of the snail. Let's go ahead and add a little more. I'm going to put some lights in. Pretty gooey, isn't it? Of course, we don't want it to sink, so I'm going to add some PVC or clear glue inside of that. Gosh, I still want a little runnier. Let's see. Guessing by golly. That's how I work, I guess. I've made a lot of bubbles. Now I've got this little light set here. I'm just going to unwind this. Alright, I'm just going to pull the tab on these lights. Make sure they work for us. Make sure I don't have resin all over my gloves. Here's the button. Oh, they're colored. I didn't realize that. I thought they were clear. But we don't want them blinking, do we? Oh, I hope they don't blink all the time. Wasn't a label. Oh, that's a slow blink. There, solid. Okay. I'm gonna, oh, there's a snowflake in there. See how my mind goes all over? Let's just wad this up and get this in the body of the snail. I don't know if that's equally distributed, and I'm going to hang this over the edge. And I'll show you, I made a plug. Now this is it right here, and it should set somewhat like that. So this is even with the top of the mold. So let's go ahead and add a little glue. We don't need very much. Where's the little stick? We've got one right here. Just going to take a little of this clear glue, get it on my stick, because I don't want all these pieces to sink to the bottom. So that's, I'm going to get a little glob more. That's a lot of pieces. So we're just going to stick that in here and make it really thick. It gets like jelly, or I could say it gets like something else, but I probably have this too thick to where the lights may not show, but don't say that, Billy. Let's hope it works. There's a big chunk of something. I'm going to do it. I'm going to add a little more just because. Stir this up. See how probably could have a little more glue actually. Let's stick my other end of the stick in here, or a different stick, and get a little more glue. Ooh, there I can see that's working. I better quit playing around. So let's just see if I can do this. Add that in there. That's a big old glob. Look at it go down in there. I have more than I needed. Maybe not. Let me try to get some of that packed in there without buggering the lights up. I don't need it all in the head. There's some in the head because if the shell was even with the body, I could have done a, you know, 2 different pores. Get you in there. Oh yeah, oh yes. And now we're up to the body, so if it's clear without the pieces, I'm okay. I think I just need not so much of that, so we can put it in here. Then I'll show you how the lid fits. And I'm going to keep going with the other pieces. Or the other piece I need to finish with this, okay? So let me just show you how much room we are going to have. Once the lid gets on, I'll finish that. The lid, you want to put these to the side because your component to the machine is in the middle. We will shift this over here. I still have room for my other 2. And it fits right on top of the extender. Just make sure you get it all in there in place. For my molds, oop, I just messed it up. And it's going to fit like that, and I'll set it for 2 hours, and we should have our pieces finished. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up more resin, do my black, get the other 2 snails in here, top that one off, and we'll be ready to go. So I will see you in a couple of hours for demold. It actually will cool down for 30 minutes, so we're talking 2.5 hours or so. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Well, here we are, 2 hours in, 30 minutes of cool down. I removed them from the G3 machine and I let them set a bit because I got sidetracked. So first of all, let's see if I can demold these without breaking the eyes or tentacles off. Now I had to put this stick here to hold my light plug in, and I'll probably have to break it and pry it off. Oh, it came off all right. Okay, so there's my little switch. Looks like I have room. Which way should we turn it? Well, should fit in just like that. I'm going to put a little bit of double-sided squares on here. But let's get this out. Got some finishing to do on the bottom. I think we'll start from the rear first. And hopefully I don't break it. Okay, so I'm going to grab some 90% alcohol here and get this down in here. Squish it around. Some of this suction released here. This might take me a moment. Bring it down the bottom. Let's get a little more in there. I might just sop it in there. It won't do any damage to your mold. Some say it does. Some say use soap. The head is what's going to be really important. So, which end do we try to pry? I'm going to try to pry the rear. I see bubbles, but that's prone. It's prone to have bubbles because of everything that's in there, and it was so thick they weren't able to release. So let me pull this right over the shell, and I don't want to put pressure here or I will definitely break those off. I'm going to bring it to me. I have to. Oh goodness. See some wires. Now, there, I got the bum out, or the big shell out. Be a little generous in here. Now, I've not used this mold before, but I have used these pot molds here. And I did those with the powder mix. Okay, I see it over his nose. Please, oh please. Careful, careful. There's 4 on here. Get it over your snout. Okay. Pull this a little bit. Here we go. Easy does it. Easy does it. Come on. That's scary. Ah, it's scary. It's scary. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Very gently, Billy. Look at that. There's one. Oh. Did it. Oh, I love that greenish turquoise color, or aqua. There's some sequins. It's a bit bubbly there. Right here on that edge. All right, let's move this and see. Can we hit the button, and do we have lights? Oh, they're flashing. I don't want flashing. I want solid lights. Look at that. I think it's very pretty. We didn't get lights down there too well. Look at all those bubbles. But that's nice. Not so much lighting on this side. You know, 2 sets might have been better. But there we go. A little lamp, or just a lit up snail. Very cute. I don't think we need to add any details to this whatsoever. I'm just going to clean up the bottom, set that in, and there's our beautiful snail. Love it. Great. I finally did something successful with lights. Let me turn this off. Okay. Now I'm going to demold these other 2. And hopefully we will have success. Now I saw, I don't know if that just didn't have suction down there. I'm hoping so. Now these are the ones I broke when they were made out of the powder mix. So rather than see me wrestle with this, how about I just put you on pause and try to get this out. Look at the pretty chameleon colors, purple and green. So let's do that. Ta-da! I was able to get them out. Did not break anything. Look at these. Bottoms need cleaned up. Look at the little face. I may just paint the eyes. Just put a little black and white in the eyes. Maybe his little lips. But those turned out really, really cute. I can see where I missed a little mica powder there on the face. But it's It's all about the snails today. Look at these. Very, very cute. I've been making quite a few pots. Oh, I turned you on by mistake. Let me fix that. Okay. Better set that in or it's going to turn itself on constantly. I've got room to put my finger in there, so that'll be good. Now this piece was just scraps. So it was halfway full. It's a log mold. And it's also a planter, or this would probably hold business cards very nicely. Once again, I did chameleon powders. Actually, these were flakes. You can see the difference between the powders and the flakes. But, whew, that's bright. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to check my descriptions below. I've got links to most all of Resiners' fine products. And like I said today, I used my mat, my mixer, my air purifier. I didn't use a debubbler, but the extender for the G3, which is a great machine, worked very well for your taller molds. So I hope to see you again next time. Take good care of yourselves. Hit that like and subscribe button and take good care. Big hugs. Bye.